Hello everyone, this is Gökhan Kılıçkalkan. Welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, you just landed in one of the best places on YouTube to talk about watches. Today, we're covering a piece that's not just iconic, it's transitional, a pivotal moment in Rolex history. This is the Rolex Daytona reference 16523, also known as the Zenith Daytona. And let me tell you, this watch might be one of the most underappreciated yet historically rich chronographs ever made by Rolex. It has it all. A groundbreaking movement, a design that bridges vintage and modern, an investment potential that still flies under the radar. I feel like this episode is going to be the shortest as we are going to speak about Daytona because, you know, it doesn't need anybody else's explanation, but I will do my best. So, today we will explore its history, the movement inside, its many dial variants, collectability, variability, and most importantly, why this might just be the smartest Daytona you can buy right now. If you are already curious, we have listed this exact watch on Chrono24. You will find the link in the description below. It's available now for 15,700 euros. So buckle up and let's take a deep dive into the Rolex Daytona Zenith. Before we get into the watch itself, we need to rewind the clock. Before 1988, the Rolex Daytona was a completely different beast. It had manual wind movements, Valjoux-based calibers that needed to be wound daily. These were beautiful, no doubt, but sales were slow. Most 80s struggled to move them off shelves. Fast forward to the late 1980s, the quartz crisis had flipped the industry on its head. Rolex knew it needed to bring the Daytona into the modern age. So in 1988, Rolex launched a completely new line of Daytona. Reference 16520 in stainless steel, reference 16523 in two-tone steel and gold, reference 16528 in solid yellow gold. So 16523, the one we are covering today, offered a perfect blend of sportiness and elegance, making it the most versatile of the trio. But the real revolution, for the first time in Daytona history, Rolex went automatic. And that's where the Zenith Daytona begins. Let's clear up a common question. Why do people call this the Zenith Daytona? Because inside, beating at the heart of this watch is a movement based on the legendary El Primero by Zenith, arguably the most famous automatic chronograph caliber in history. Rolex didn't just drop it in and call it a day. They heavily modified the El Primero. Slowed the beat rate from 36,000 to 28,800 for better longevity. Removed the date complication, upgraded over 200 parts to Rolex standards, and added their own finishing and regulation. The result? The caliber 4030, Rolex's first automatic chronograph movement, an absolute tank when it comes to durability and reliability. It's the only time Rolex ever outsourced a movement for the Daytona, and that makes the 16523 and its siblings totally unique in Daytona lineup. Now, let's talk about how this watch feels on the wrist. The 16523 comes in at 40mm, a huge leap from the smaller, older Daytonas. This was the first Daytona with modern case proportions and the first with a scratch-resistant sapphire crystal. The case is made of stainless steel. Rolex's proprietary corrosion-resistant alloy combined with 18-karat yellow gold accents on the bezel, crowns, pushers, and center links. That two-tone aesthetic gives the watch the unique warmth and contrast that wears beautifully in both casual and dressy settings. Despite its age, the Daytona 16523 has incredible wrist presence. It doesn't feel outdated. If anything, the dimensions and the materials make it feel more wearable than many of today's bulkier luxury chronographs. It's light, comfortable, and after a few days on the wrist, it feels like an extension of you. Collectors love the 16523 for one big reason, the dial variations. Over the 12 years this model was produced, from 1988 to 2000, Rolex released with numerous subtle and not so subtle changes. Champagne dial with contrasting black subdials, white dial with gold registers, black dial with gold accents, rare lapis lazuli, mother of pearl, and sodalite dial for the gem set versions. Some early dials featured the floating cosmograph text, you know, where the word floats apart from the rest of the dial script, the infamous inverted 6 in the hour register where the number 6 looks more like a 9, and the extremely rare porcelain dial, a glossy, almost enamel-like dial that's a grail in itself. Every little variant tells a different story and affects collectability and market value. That's what makes collecting these so fun. You're not just buying a watch, you're buying a piece of Rolex's evolutionary DNA. The bezel is another point of interest. It's a fixed engraved tachymeter scale, but unlike older Daytonas, this one is graduated to 200 units per hour, not 400. It's cleaner and easier to read, and less cluttered. It's made from solid 18-karat yellow gold, so not only does it shine, but it develops beautiful character over time. That natural aging of gold gives the watch an elegant patina with wear. Then there's the bracelet. Rolex's tried and true oyster bracelet in steel and gold. It uses reference 78393 with solid center links and the early 403 end link. It's robust, comfortable, and designed to last decades. The clasp is stamped with Rolex's coronet. When you snap it shut, you can literally feel the engineering quality. That's the thing with Rolex. Even older models feel overbuilt. It's worth noting, this watch is not brand new. It has a few light scratches consistent with age, but everything is original and beautifully preserved. No over polishing, and I'm not sure if it has ever been polished. No aftermarket parts, just honest vintage condition, exactly the way collectors love it. Let's talk about something collectors absolutely love, the box and papers. This particular Rolex Daytona 165/23 comes as a full set, and that includes the original vintage Rolex box with the reference 69.00.09, which is the correct style and code for the period. If you have ever opened one of these older Rolex boxes, you know the feeling. The vintage green texture, the creamy suede interior, it immediately takes you back to another era. This isn't just packaging, it's part of the story. It's a part of the experience of owning an aged Rolex. Having the correct box and papers isn't just about collectability. It's about completeness. And in today's market, full sets are increasingly rare and valuable. When you open this box, you're not just looking at the timepiece, you're opening a piece of Rolex history. So, who should be looking at the 165/23? Honestly, it's for a few different types of collectors. If you love vintage Rolex but want modern comfort and durability, this is perfect. If you are a Daytona enthusiast, this is a must-have. It's the link between the old-school hand-wound Daytonas and today's ceramic monsters. If you are looking for a first high-end chronograph with serious pedigree, you can't do much better. And if you're an investor, the 165/23 still has room to grow, especially with collector interest in the Zenith movement growing every year. It's sporty, dressy, historical, and flat out cool. Let's talk money. As of 2025, the average price for a well-preserved Rolex Daytona 165/23 ranges between 13 and 20,000 euros, depending on the condition, dial type, and original paperwork. But the good news, we have a pristine example available right now listed at 15,700 euros. That's right, a fully working, beautifully preserved Rolex Zenith Daytona 165/23 for under 16K. This watch still has tremendous upside, and it's incredibly rare to find one in this condition at this price point. And you can buy it today securely through Chrono24, where we are proud to be a trusted seller with 4.8-star reviews and full authenticity guarantees. If you're ready to make this watch yours or just want to browse our carefully created collection of timepieces, head over to Chrono24, where we specialize in rare, well-preserved watches like the 165/23. The link is right below the video, check the description. Chrono24 handles every transaction with care, offers secure payment protection, and we're always available for questions before and after your purchase. Don't wait too long though. Watches like this don't sit for very long. The Daytona 165/23 is quickly becoming a favorite among serious collectors. To wrap it up, the Rolex Daytona Zenith 165/23 is more than just a timepiece. It's a story of transition, of evolution, of Rolex taking a bold step into the modern world without losing its roots. It has all the charm of a vintage piece, the tech of a modern one, and a market value that's still attainable. If you've been thinking about adding a Daytona to your collection, maybe skip the hype for once and go for the history, this is the one. Like the video if you found this helpful, subscribe if you love deep dives like this, and comment below, would you buy a two-tone Daytona or do you prefer a full steel? As we said, all the links are in the description, and we would love to see you over at our Chrono24 store. Thanks for watching, stay sharp, and as always, stay exceptional.